8 years of RPG.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. Honestly, we're Inquisitors, and the mayor's locked up for some reason, and his guards seemed willing enough to go along with it, so maybe he's not as universally liked as my initial impression was. Therefore, why don't we go ahead and ransack his estates and see what sort of useful stuff we can find?
All right. That's a thing. That's a thing you could do.
Because being Inquisitors, we have some modicum of immunity.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we cut to like you guys like breaking through a door and like starting to like.
Wait, can I power that door down, please?
Absolutely, do it. The gate is open. But yeah, there's a locked door. That you assume.
Never mind.
You assume. Oh yeah, well, I mean lockpick. Yeah, that you assume is.
Let's not power this door. Let's have some fun with the skill that I put a lot of emphasis on when we were creating the character and haven't gotten to use yet.
Yep.
Where is it?
So
there it is.
Yeah, that you kind of assume that this is like his quarters, just from the layout of the building. So the mayor's quarters.
They sob.
Just make it a 2.
I've got this.
Cool. Awesome.
How did I only get a 2 out of 5?
I mean,
I got a 6 though, so I guess that's not terrible.
Yeah. So you
but I don't need to because I picked the lock.
Yeah, you open it, no problem. So everybody like Alfons like kind of like shakes the door, like goes like this, and then he's like, oh well, it's locked. And then Antonius is like, nope, I got this, and then he just grabs out his little lockpick tools.
No door is locked to me.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there are lockpicking tools swirling through my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
I got this.
No, yeah, okay, so this is actually really interesting. So from what you guys have seen of Antonius, he's like this big, big man who pounds on hammers and stuff like that. And you see him handle these lockpicks so delicately.
Yeah, that's funny.
I clap him on the back. I'm like, good job, Antonius.
So
Glad to have you on the team.
So you open up the mayor's quarters. And I mean, right away, it looks like there's a locked chest that might be of importance. And there's other things you can make an observation check to kind of like search around and see if you can see anything else of value.
Is there any money?
How many locks are on the chest? 3?
Just 1.
Oh.
It looks rather complicated though.
Not an iron lock and a copper lock.
No.
Okay. I think I might as well try to go and break into that one as well.
All right, that's gonna be an ob 4.
Okay. No modifiers. Ob 4.
No.
1-6.
I might as well spend a fate since I have plenty, and I figure I'll get a few more.
Might as well.
Oh. How does this work? It's 1 D6 in curly braces. Then we say it's greater than 4.
Yeah.
Exclamation point. Error with me formula, try again. D6.
So the exclamation point goes inside the brackets at the end of the numbers.
Ah. Greater than 4.
Ugh, 1 success, but not enough. So yeah, I think what happens is
couldn't get
you just feel like there's just this one tiny little like one more turn that like you need to, but like it's just so you have to finagle with so many things that like you just can't quite
skeleton
get
key,
it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Skeleton key, so I can't actually bend my tools into the right shape.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a skeleton key, it could be multiple layers of shape that need to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like it's definitely something like that.
with more torque than I'd be able to put through with a typical tumbler lock.
Yep.
That I would need a special skeleton key. I would actually need to clone the key or clone the inside of the lock, and that would take time
We should all
and
combine
effort. And
power to-
What?
Let's all combine power.
That's the thing you could do. You could all try to like break open the lock.
Power is combined.
So whoever has the
Try to
highest
rip the
power,
lid off, but
yeah, whoever has the highest power could
I would
make the
not
roll.
recommend. I don't know if we want to necessarily rip. How much do we? I mean, how visible do we? How much do we care about the mayor coming back and finding that stuff has been searched through?
I mean,
I certainly don't.
at
care.
this point, I mean, he's arrested for heresy. So
Let's rip the lid off the chest.
Yeah.
So Antonius, I think
my power's 3.
yeah,
if anyone
Antonius has
five.
the highest power. So
5.
so
Oh,
just
wow.
you just add two
I like how this is going.
add two modifiers to it, Antonius. Yeah.
Modifiers. No one's gonna try anything else to boost it.
Can I persuade him
Well-
to do even better?
No, they can only help you with one dice anyway. So
Oh, okay.
Oh. Can I use persuasion instead?
no.
What's our ob?
Make it a
Are you
make it a
lockpicking
4
again?
as well. Make it that a 4.
You're just
No, I'm
lockpicking.
not lockpicking. I
He's
can't lockpick with
trying
power.
to he's trying to do the hinge thing
you're
again.
trying to force it open.
Awesome. Wow, that's a
You
lot of
got
sixes. So yeah, you just rip that thing off, man. You just rip it off like you're just like, wait a second. Leverage. And just like rip it off. Yeah, so like some of the hinges were like faulty.
No, it was the pin in the lock was a two-piece
There you go.
thing. The bracket pin, the lock pin was a two-piece bracket, and it just ripped the weld.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, so you rip it open, and there's some, various parchment inside, a small journal. Doesn't look like there's anything else besides that, though.
Going to make a reading test to see if I can locate important information within
Do
me.
it.
Hang on, that was a routine power test. Bummer. I'm gonna try to see if I can find anything, specifically stuff that might be I would think of as arcane, anything that might associate with rituals or magic or that sort of thing. And then what do I do for my ob? Is it graduated? Or
Go ahead and make it ob 5.
ob 5?
Yeah.
Watch this not work.
I mean, yes, you have a read of
Nope.
1, so. Yeah, I
It's
mean.
a challenging test, though.
Okay, so
I just need-
it's written in this weird like law language, like so. I mean, it's not a different language, but like the way he words things is just so alien to you. Like you're used to like simple, like clear, like mercantile kind of language, and he's using this like really highfalutin, like weird language, and you just don't understand what he's saying. Like you just can't get it. I have a feeling that Alfons might be better at it. I think I would give him an advantage dice because he's a noble. If you wanted to make a reading test.
I mean, mine's only 1, but I'll try. Ooh, okay. Can I fork in noble wise as well?
Absolutely.
Okay. What about court gossip wise?
No.
This guy's on the court.
Mm-mm.
No. And does etiquette have anything to do with
No. Mm-mm.
writing? No. Okay. What about bullcrap wise? Because I'm just BSing my way through it.
Okay, so if your intent is to provide an answer that would satisfy them, but not necessarily an answer that is the true answer, then I would allow you to fork that in. But it's up to you.
Okay. So you're giving me 1 because I'm a noble though. So
Yep.
just 2 modifiers?
Yep.
Okay. And the is the ob still 5?
Yep.
Crap. Well. Yeah. I didn't do any better.
Same roll, yeah. Mark that challenge in reading test though. Yeah, so you didn't
But
understand
you
it
got
either.
a 6.
So you thought it might be so maybe Antonius, this is kind of maybe how it plays out. Antonius is like, Alphonse, like, you try this. Like it's like noble speak. I don't understand it. And Alphonse is like, nope, this isn't noble
Every
speak.
ounce of me dripping with disdain as
Yeah.
I think it's noble speak. This
Uh-huh.
is if this
I'm
is
just
how
like,
nobles write,
this
they're
guy
even
might
more
be
they're
illiterate.
even bigger idiots than I thought they were.
Yeah, so Alphonse is like, nope, this isn't noble speak. Like this is something that you don't even understand. Like so it's like holy advocate law practice talking. Like he's using law terms that none of you understand.
One time we need
And okay, so you get the basic idea of what this is. Like you understand that it's a lot of like contracts and like law things, like the various cases that have happened. Some of them in the city in Lucerta, and some of them in this town, because he has done a little holy advocate work while he's been here. And then the journal itself is written in that same kind of language, but it seems to be like talking a lot about like the day-to-day happenings of the town and like what his response is to like the various situations that have arisen over the years he's been here, stuff like that. So it's like a personal journal of like his experience here in the town.
Any mention of other people in the town, like did he think the abyss was hot or something?
I don't.
Or nothing we could really puzzle through?
Okay, he mentions the abyss a few times actually. Do you want to make an observation test for me, Antonius?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would love to make an observation test. And
Can I add in my one dice? Ugh. Ooh, can I actually fork in my noble wise to his?
No, you can't. You can't. Okay, you can actually help him on this roll, but he can't fork anything in. So yes, you could fork that in. Yep. Or you just add one modifier for
That's
Alphonse
one
helping.
modifier.
Yep.
And what are we looking at for base sub?
3.
Cool. What?
Yeah, because it doubles to 6.
No. Why did I only get 3 out of 7? That's what I'm concerned by. But hey, I got 4 out of 4 observation tests.
You did.
Well,
All right.
is your observation untrained?
Now it's not.
Yes,
But yeah,
but
it was.
now it's not.
Oh, I have observation that's trained.
Do you want to go ahead and make an observation just on your own,
Yeah.
Alphonse? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so but
Yep.
mine's
Well, I got one more
only
success, but that's not going to be enough.
mine's. Can anyone add anything to my
Did-
observation to help?
Were you spending a fate point on that, Antonius?
I did.
Okay, so mark
Yeah.
that fate point on perception, because it was technically untrained at that point. So,
Okay.
oh, and make sure you guys are marking fate points when you spend fate on stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, Alphonse, go ahead and make it's a op 3. So make that observation.
To add anything because my observation is only 1.
What do you have to fork in?
Well, I was asking if anyone else could. I have a read and noble wise that might help.
I'm not gonna let you fork in read because you already failed your read test.
Okay.
But you can fork in noble wise again if you would like.
And what am I trying to observe?
Antonius noticed that the abyss is mentioned a few times. And I just want to see
Okay.
if you can see if there's any sort of connection, any sort of thing you can pick out of that.
Can I get a bonus because I semi-intimate with the abyss?
No.
Do either of you have anything that would be useful in that? Because otherwise it's probably gonna fail.
Let It Ride says I can't help, I think.
Yeah, unless you had another skill that would be applicable to the situation. You couldn't use observation.
Appraisal. No.
Yeah, you can use observation again or read, but if you had another skill, you could use that.
Okay.
Doesn't really look like you do. And I don't think Cantarius does either. I just kind of looked through his
Okay,
skills,
well,
so
May as well
let's go and try
go
it.
for it anyway. Yeah.
Man, so close. Yeah.
I could ask the goddess.
No.
No.
No. But yeah, mark that observation.
I mean, okay. I already have. So can I just put this challenging in routine, because I already have 3 challenging. My challenge thing for observation is completely full already.
Let me look. It might be, and that might work because of the way things are. So you have 1 dice. Yeah, you can. It can be routine. Yep.
Okay, so then it would technically, my observation would technically be 2 by those rules, because I have 3 challenging things checked without.
Okay, then yes. So roll 1 more dice, and if that succeeds, then you.
Okay. Kepler 2 /
That would actually make it a difficult test, though, Jared. So mark that when you So like clear all your tests, advance it, and then put 1 difficult test.
Come on, baby. Our shoes.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So yeah, you notice that there is a connection there that you kind of see. So you see that around a year ago, given the dates in the book, he started like talking about, so before in the journal he had made mention of the abbess just in passing, like various things that would happen, but again, like the nuns weren't really a part of your everyday life. But then about a year ago, he started just kind of mentioning her oddly, like just like he'd just be like, and the abbess was doing this today, when the abbess is like over in the nunnery, like by herself, and like it doesn't say any mention that he like went there and like saw her doing this stuff, but like it just kind of like mentions her weirdly like that, where like he somehow knew what she was doing,
as if he's been keeping tabs on her.
Yeah. And then around, let's see, 3 months ago, he did make mention of the fact that she had started preaching in the town, in the square and all that stuff, and he didn't, there was no mention of like heresy. He didn't have a problem with it, it seems like. And then about a week ago, there's an entry that seems to imply that they met, but doesn't go into specifics. But I think because of the succeeded observation test, I think you kind of put together the pieces just through like the subtext and the things that are kind of left unsaid but are implied, that they were working together on some project. And there's also mention of the fact that they may have been intimate, but it's not. Again, it's implied rather than, and it's all subtext rather than like actual evidence of anything.
How dare you sleep with my woman? I know what it feels like now.
Oh man. Wait, Narani's gonna start getting jealous.
Yeah.
We should search the room further. Well, I guess I wanna. Someone should look through the words. Let me try that statement again. Someone should look through the chest, looking for hidden compartments or extra drawers or something that might have been.
Yeah, so you can make an observation test for the whole room just to see if you find anything that you are missing.
Okay.
So.
If we're making an observation test for the whole room, I'd like someone with an observation higher than 1
I have 2 now.
to make the test. And then I can help, right?
Oh, your observation opens, Antonius, at half of your perception. It doesn't open at 1. It opens at 3 for you, I believe.
Yes, it was labeled. Oh, sweetness.
Yeah, so you do have the highest observation.
Do you have a
I guess I.
What?
That's actually really good to know.
Mhm.
Cool. So then I will make that.
Nice.
Yeah, so keep that in mind when you
We'll make that
learn.
check.
Yeah, keep that in mind when you learn a skill.
Make that check then.
It opens at
again-
half of the base skill.
Cool.
Oh, that's good to
rounded
know.
down,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
So Alphonse can help. Who else who else in the party is with us? and can
Cantarius
help
is here. I think that Sergio and Dylan are probably still talking to the cultists, because I know
Something
Dylan.
tells me neither of them would be particularly interested in
No,
ransacking
they
the
wouldn't.
quarters.
But I think what they're doing specifically
Yeah.
probably is like talking to the cultists about their beliefs and stuff like that, because they're both interested in that.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Figure out what exactly it is that makes them cultists.
Mhm. But yeah, Cantarius, do you have any skills
And
that would
then-
help here?
I don't believe so.
You could listen to the floor. You could listen to the floor as we walk around and see if you can.
I
hear
think I have a
anything
better skill,
specifically
though.
Hollow or...
I think I have a better one. Scavenging.
Ah,
I think you could help him with scavenging.
do I need a roll or?
No, you just give him a dice.
Ooh, Antonius,
Cool.
before you roll,
Right.
I want to have a little
Can I do both?
man-to-man moment. So I look to him like, so I take it you don't like nobles, and then I get a sly grin. I'm like, you want to steal some of his stuff?
Have we found anything particularly useful in the room?
What do you mean by useful?
Worth a lot of money.
No, if we just started pawning off of golden statues, I think people would realize, hey, this kind of belongs to the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't do it
Um,
here. We'd wait till we got back to a big city.
I think that you might be
He's
able to.
probably mostly got law books and stuff.
Mhm.
Um,
If Connor makes a good scavenging test in the compound, I think he could probably find enough valuable items to give each of you a cash die if you wanted to.
Cool.
If he succeeded on it.
I'm up for it.
Hey, cool.
so then I take his modifier die off
Yep.
of there and have him, and he makes a scavenge roll instead.
Well, I mean, he could do both.
Oh,
He
okay.
could help you and then make the scavenging roll.
Cool. And then let's see. Can I? What else? Let's see. And I'm not sure if I could fork in. So appraisal's looking and knowing the value of a thing, right?
Mhm.
So that would be something. Would that be something I could fork into his scavenge roll?
Definitely. Yep.
So that wouldn't help me with this observation roll, but it would help him when he's scavenging.
Yep.
So I will make the ob roll,
Okay.
or the observation roll. Ben, what's the ob?
Make it a 3.
Make sure to add my modifier to yours.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
So I think that you find a necklace in between like the mattresses. There's like 2 mattresses on top of each other, and it's like wedged like all the way in the center, like of the mattresses, like where you would have to like reach really far in to try to grab it. But yeah, you find this small necklace with a like a little circular pendant on the end of it, and it's like there's a border around it like that kind of looks like a dragon, like curling around the circle, and it's incomplete at the end, and you recognize that that's a common symbol for the great god, but it is the circle part is made of mirror, like a reflective metal.
Cool. So this isn't exactly. Would this be, Alphonse? You able to make a doctrine check and tell me whether this is normal churchy stuff
I
or
can
if this
make
is
an untrained
weirdness?
doctrine check.
What?
I don't have doctrine.
Well, I think we ought to, rather than mess around with us trying. Well, yeah, I think what we ought to do is take this back to Dylan and see what he has to say about it.
Oh yeah, I can tell you without a doubt that Dylan and Sergio both could tell you exactly what that means. Not exactly what that
Okay, good.
means, I guess, but like tell you that it's important. So
Well, I'd like to at least look at the.
Can I make the
Can I-
roll anyway so I can unlock doctrine?
sure, yeah, you can make your doctrine roll if you want to.
That's actually a good point. Maybe you could try and see if you could figure it out what it was.
What's the ob?
Unfortunately, this is a pretty obscure thing. Well, you recognize the incomplete circle as a symbol of go ahead and make it a graduated test, actually. Just roll at an ob 1, and then based on how many successes you get, I'll reveal information to you. So you can re-roll that 6 if you'd like.
I'll roll that.
Drop an exclamation point on the end of it.
It's too late.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think obviously you recognize the incomplete circle, but I think you don't know the significance of the mirror, or if there is any, but you do recognize the dragon. Dragons in general are the dragon bloods deities. Like that's the only thing they are. There aren't like animal dragons. Like that isn't a race really. Any dragon is a god. So you recognize that in some and you like I think we have like a quick flashback to like one of Alfons's like doctrine lessons as a kid. And he's not paying attention at all, like just kind of like fumbling around.
You're probably checking out some of the priestesses in training.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But I think you kind of like one of the girls kind of like slaps her hand. She's like, ew, like get away from me, kind of thing. And you kind of like you kind of like go like this, and then you just like look up and actually pay attention for a couple of seconds. And you hear like the priest who's kind of explaining things to you say, explain, and I'm trying to think of how the priest would actually say this, but something along the lines of, now a dragon is usually used for a symbol. A dragon is usually a symbol of the dragon blood deities, but it has also been commonly used just as a symbolic representation of the devil in some of the ancient Taconi texts.
Delightful.
Ooh. Didn't they say something about a mirror last time
They did.
in the tower? Do I remember what they said? Do any of us remember what they said?
Okay, so the problem is, Alfons, you were trying to comfort the abbess. Cantarius was focused on what he heard, and what he heard was Maddie died, and the whole family died, and he left. So I don't think either of you
I got run over by nuns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alfons, I will let you make a perception test to see if you remember.
Observation test?
No, perception.
Oh, I don't think I have that.
No, perception. It's a stat.
Oh.
Ooh, I like my regular perception score.
Uh-huh.
Mine's basically the same.
And I think it'll be a 2.
Can I
Make it up 2.
fork in observation?
Sure. Yep.
Yes. Okay, I like that better then. Can I also fork in bullcrap wise because I bullcrap my way through school?
Sure.
But this is trying to remember.
No. Yeah. Alphonse.
This is trying to remember.
This is trying to remember.
what he heard.
Yeah.
Drop down from the ceiling.
This is just. Yeah, no, he does that sometimes. This is trying to remember something that you heard before, and I don't think it would count in that case.
That would not. That would not help.
If you were trying to remember what you learned in school, which you already did with the doctrine roll, then it would be different. But yeah.
Okay, so what's the ab then?
2.
2?
Yep.
I mean, that's not bad.
No, is it?
Never. Tell
Cool.
me
All right.
the
Yeah,
odds.
you remember that they were talking about that Sergio brought up some like really obscure piece of Taconi, like, and so the idea of this one god who's like over all the others came from this Taconi cult. And the Taconi are like Japanese culture people live on these islands in the bay off the coast of Ceran. And so Sergio was talking about how in one of the like the ancient Taconi texts that kind of spawned the idea of this great god, there is talk of a like an artifact in the mythology called the smoking mirror, and it was the Well, the unknown god, as it's called in Tekoni, the great god is called in Tekoni, looked in that mirror and to discover the mysteries of the universe. And because it was a mirror, so he was discovering the mystery of the universe is by looking inside himself. And the mirror also emitted this toxic smoke.
No, don't sit on it.
This toxic green smoke that like killed anyone but the unknown god who got near it. So it's like this artifact in this ancient thing. And you remember just off the top of your head that there were like Sergio was talking about how like there's some translations like they weren't quite sure whether or not the green color of the smoke was literal green or like some metaphor for something, or if I don't remember. There was some other thing, but I guess you don't remember it because I don't remember it. So.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then, oh my gosh, Alfons puts it all together. He's like, oh, the ceremony has to do with the staff because the staff emits green smoke, and the mayor is part of it all along.
And Antonius sits there and scratches his head and says, "What does that have to do with staff emits green smoke? How does that incriminate the mayor?" Based
Because
on this
He
amulet.
wanted the staff, and the staff in the mirror is the green smoke.
Mirror
Coincidence? I think not.
Okay. First off, you're holding a shiny amulet, so maybe that's what you mean by mirror, but I have no idea where you connected mirror and green smoke. Can
No,
you
because
fill
that's
me
what it said in the
please?
doctrine. Oh, yeah, I inform him about what Delin and Sergio said, and I'm like, oh, they said that, so it's not me just making crap up.
Okay. You sure it's not you just making it up and claiming that they said it so that I... Never mind. Okay.
So
I still don't. The connection between mirror and this amulet thing is kind of tenuous. Can I do an appraisal check to figure out what this thing is?
What the pendant is?
You know, like, well, what's it made of,
Sure,
and
yeah.
maybe where was it made? And okay, so
Yeah, make
do
it
an
make
appraisal.
a graduated appraisal.
Oh, I like the odds already. Okay, so with my appraisal check, I'm going to fork in materials wise because I want to know, knowing what it's made of will help me determine where it might be from. Craftsman wise, so I have a general idea of the region and the, what my the motivations be because I would know where the craftsmen are. As far as, the general styles and what era it might be. And I'm also going to fork in artisan wise because a specific, see if maybe I would recognize a specific touch or a specific flair that might be a master or his students picking up the particular style.
Yeah.
And then tools wise to figure out what might, the specific way it was manufactured.
Okay.
Which would also give me clues.
Sure, yeah.
buttons.
And it's a graduated test. I only got that. I guess it's a 50% success rate.
You have 3 6s.
And because I'm feeling spendy, slash roll 3d6 exclamation point closing squiggly greater than 4. I got 1 more.
Yeah. So
I got a 5 out of 8 dice rolled.
okay. Wow, I just thought of something really cool. Yeah, so I think you have never seen the kind of metal that is made, that like the reflective metal in the center before. It is not a thing that exists anywhere that you've ever seen. You have never seen of something like this. It is some material that you do not recognize. It is weird.
Smack of any normal alloy.
Yeah,
or...
it's weird.
Okay.
Like it's and yeah, I think you do also see like a slight, like some might call it an imperfection, but you kind of recognize it as a trademark thing of a popular jeweler in Lucerta, and that's on the dragon piece.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know this guy. Like, this is a craftsman that you used to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
You're like,
Could I do a circles roll to say that he did some of the jewelry embedding and the more artistic, ornate stuff I worked with?
you can just say that. You don't have to roll circles. You're fine. Yeah.
Sweet. So this guy and I collaborated on a couple of things.
Yep.
For important nobility people.
The rest of the metal is just normal. It's like silver on the outside.
So all very burnt, very polished silver.
Yep. And yeah, other than that, I mean, the chain is normal. It's nothing odd about that. But yeah, I mean, it's
a gold or a gold leaf.
Yep. It's the mirror that is just boggles your mind.
Okay. Cool.
And I
I
think it reminds you of Cantarius's staff, but in a weird
sort of ethereal,
yeah,
beyond my comprehension.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I just have such a big ego about my understanding of stuff that this is again something.
It obviously must be magical.
Exactly.
I feel like you want to try burning it.
No. Number one, we still don't really have a good clue as to what this means. Your theory with the green smoke and mirror maybe kind of makes sense looking at it. It's obviously not normal, but I don't want to induce more green smoke from this mirror piece if that's the case.
Oh, don't worry, that was a joke. I do not want you to burn it.
Good. Because
But
at the very least, it's worth a good chunk of cash. And if you find the right researcher to buy it, this will be worth 80 times as much as
yes.
trying to sell it to a noble. No offense, but you guys have no idea how to appraise.
Literally, though, they don't.
So I'm like, okay, I think it's too much of a coincidence that the mayor we arrested for heresy has a heretical item that just happens to refer to green smoke and demons, and his staff emits green smoke and was apparently created by a demon, and he also
They
really
must
wants
be part
the
of the
staff.
same secret society then.
Yeah.
Right? That are trying to take over the world.
Do you actually say that in character?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about that, but they obviously want to use the staff to make green smoke. And there's a ceremony tonight, so we should probably get the let out after we steal all the valuable stuff.
Okay, so I think this is the moment.
Well, I do see. Yeah. Okay.
Just like a second. I think this is the moment.
I don't necessarily believe Alfons.
Okay.
At this point, my comment on secret societies was completely.
Right.
It's just like,
Yeah.
and you believe in aliens too, don't you?
Yeah. Okay, so I think this is the point where a hawk swoops in through the open window, like not in the chambers, obviously.
Speed test to avoid whatever it's trying to do.
They're not like. Okay, so like a hawk like swoops in, so that you kind of like just see this from your peripheral, like outside in the hallway, like from where you came from, like you're in the noble's or the mayor's quarters right now. And the hawk kind of like swoops in, lands on the floor, like kind of like looks around, sees you all, and then flaps its wings and comes right towards Antonius. So now you have to make an agility test if you want to try to get out of the way.
I absolutely want to get out of the way.
All right.
That's good.
Can I fork in materials wise to know what the hawk is made out of?
No.
Can I seduce the hawk?
Oh my goodness.
What's the
It's gonna be
For
opposed.
seducing the hawk?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be opposed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea, Jared.
4v4. We both have 1-6. The hawk doesn't have a 6, or the hawk doesn't have a fate point though, so you can Or I guess it's a falcon,
But I'm
not a hawk.
defending, so I win anyway, right?
Yes, that's true. Yep, and it's a
So I
falcon.
don't want to spend a fate point
No,
on
you
this
don't.
since I'm
Um,
defending against this falcon.
yeah. So, you dodge out of the way, and the falcon like lands on the bed, like picks at the blanket for a second, and then kind of like screeches and looks at you again, like flaps its wings. Do you want to make an observation test
Could
for
I
me, someone?
Yes. Okay.
Just like a 2 observation test.
Okay. I have so many
Add
skills.
mine
I'm
in with
trying
you.
to find it. It's all the way at the bottom
Yeah.
of my list. Okay,
You
it
do
is.
have a lot of skills.
Yes, Kitty.
2.
Add mine in with. Don't forget.
Okay, there we are. 1, 0, 2.
Awesome. So yeah, you notice that the falcon is looking right at the pendant you're holding in your hand.
It's a falcon, so sharp talons and sharp beak, and
Mhm.
it's after the thing I'm holding in my hand. I'm not sure.
I rolled to seduce it.
No, I don't think that works.
Caleb, what's the ob? I already asked. You have to tell me.
No, you are
I asked
not.
for the ob.
10.
Okay.
No, 12.
Oh man.
For seducing the hawk?
Yeah.
I don't think you can fork much in on that roll either.
Oh, it's fine. I level up in seduction now.
No, you don't.
What?
Jared,
Caleb?
I was kidding. You're not gonna make it. It's impossible.
GM's prerogative.
But you just said yes.
No, it's impossible. I was being facetious.
I flap my arms and squawk, and I'm like, in a seductive manner.
I don't even remember what I was doing now.
Why?
You could use conspicuous to try to get the bird's attention away from the thing I'm holding in my. I'm gonna close my hand around the object so I can't see it. And does it look trained?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Based on my prior observation, it definitely looks like it's a trained bird.
Mm-hmm.
String dangling from its ankle or something to for the.
Yeah, like there's like a
Falcon or
leather
whatever.
strap on its ankle, like a small leather strap.
Okay. From our previous observation checks on the room, did we see like falconry stuff? Like this mayor was into falconry, or is this sort of a? Or is this not something we would have expected to see at all?
I think there was like some sort of like post or something where like a falcon could land. Like there's some sort of like falconry like roost, like, but it's a very small one, and you recognize now that like it was kind of a common thing in the town. Not like everyone, but like anyone who was like super like pretty important usually had like a roost, and like falconry is pretty.
They're for peasants.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Falconry is a pretty common sport and a way of getting messages around in Ceran. So yeah.
So this is probably a messenger of some sort. Then I would recognize from being Serrano.
Mm-hmm.
I'd recognize that this bird's probably some form of messenger or something. Does it have a message tied to it at all?
Mm-mm.
No. So it does seem to be after the thing I'm holding then. I'm thinking that I'm going to... I don't want to get close to it. Hey, Alfons, did you throw a blanket over the thing? I don't like the way it's eyeing the thing I've got in my hand.
Oh man. Yeah, I try to like wrap it in a blanket.
The bird.
Yeah.
All right, agility.
Okay. What's the
It's gonna be against its agility.
what's its agility?
5.
Can I fork in brawling?
No.
What?
It's not against a falcon.
You don't
I've
know.
never
You don't
fought
know
a
how to
falcon.
brawl a falcon.
It's a very different technique. You've got to sort of bob and weave, but also have a rat in your hand at the same time.
So the ob is the ob 4 or 5?
The
It's
ob
3.
is graduated, so you give.
It's
Oh,
3.
or,
No,
yeah.
no, no. It's against the 3.
Crap.
You failed. You have a 1/6 though.
I mean, well, but a tie goes to the defender anyway.
So you'd need to, you'd need to get a sec. You'd need to roll a 6 with that one, and then. Mm-hmm.
Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's against a 3. It's against 3 successes. Oh, right, because the tie goes to the defender. Yeah. Yeah. So, I think it just flies out the window at that point.
Follow it.
Do you want to make an observation test to see where it's going?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it.
If my mouse would actually click in the right. I'm assuming I'm forking in at least one. Cantarius, can you listen for this bird? Triangulate
Yes, I
its
can.
location with your magic ears.
Okay.
That is a very strange request, but I can do that.
What are you talking about, Jared?
The cat.
Something about a cat being in the toilet, I'm assuming.
I'm gonna drink out of Caleb's nasty toilet.
Okay. So,
Alright, what's the op?
I mean, you're just adding a modifier to Antonius' observation test.
so we're not
Oh,
linking this.
okay,
anymore.
never mind.
Okay.
Alright. You're welcome.
And then base obstacle to track it to get an idea of where it's going.
Get an idea of where it's going. 3.
Okay. I'm liking these odds. But then I've never been to Vegas, so
Oh no.
Yeah.
That is a
So
good line.
I mean, you have So you
No, I made it up on the spot.
you see that it's going east. So straight across town, but after that you lose sight of it. You don't know where it is.
So it could be. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Why do I keep getting these routine? I don't. Well, I guess I do need 3 routines, but still, I want some challenging observation tests.
Then you can't fork stuff in.
Yeah. Use
That's why I
observation
purposely
to see
fail
if I
some
can
of
see
my
some
ones sometimes.
observation to see if I can see some bacteria on the floor.
No.
Okay. So at this point, have we missed anything, Cantarius, Alfons? Have we seen everything we've come to see?
I mean, I got one dice of cash. So
Well,
I'm pretty happy.
Cantarius has to make
Cantarius
the
has to make
scavenging
a
roll still.
Scavenging roll, yeah.
Oh.
And then I can add my appraisal to his scavenging.
You can
so
indeed.
there's an extra, right?
So you want to ransack the mayor's house
Yes.
for loot?
I would. Gee, don't think we'd have time to. I don't know that we'd want to do the entire mansion or
Well,
house.
Scavenging.
I
If
mean-
he's okay, so his intent, Connor's intent with the scavenging roll is probably something along the lines of find all the valuables in a timely manner. So if he fails, it takes longer than you want it to, or
Okay.
it could be.
Or,
That
that'd be up to him if he fails, right? Whether it takes longer. Or it
it's
doesn't
up to
find as
me.
much.
It's up to me, really.
it's up to
But I think I'm gonna say I can specify like what the consequence for failure would be beforehand, and I think the consequence of failure in this case is it's gonna take a while if you fail.
I mean,
'Cause
we
I think
wouldn't-
Connor-
we'd just leave before it took too long.
Okay, so then you just leave and then you wouldn't get the cash dice.
Okay.
So Connor, you want to go ahead and make a scavenging roll for us?
Yeah.
You should add my observation.
And Antonius is adding his appraisals, so that's
Hang
2
on 1
modifiers.
second.
I was just gonna ask you guys a question, but I don't remember what it was now. Oh well. No mods, I'm assuming, and then op.
4.
Oh, that I hit Artha is 4. Whoops. What?
God.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you're wounded. I forgot.
Yeah.
That's good.
At least it was a difficult scavenging.
Oh, you didn't
test.
add the modifiers, Connor.
Oh, what was the modifier?
2 dice.
Oh, okay.
One from each of us.
Yeah.
Wow.
You have a
You got
6 though.
All right, here we go.
Nice.
Yay.
Awesome. Cash dice for all of you.
How much?
1 dice, so 1d.
All
Just
right.
write 1d on the thing that says cash. Yeah. So you can use that to you can use it to give you a dice on something that would let, like, if you wanted to bribe someone. It could also be spent to make a resource test to buy something, stuff like that. So
I'm gonna buy a little hat for Tiddlywinks.
okay, cool. I think with that we'll probably just end it. So after you guys, so I think like we end with like a montage with like happy like upbeat guitar like rock music where you guys are just like dumping everything out and like guarding corns. And you're like, yes. So yeah, you find valuables enough to for 3 dice of cash. So
Perfect.
so
I'm
yeah.
destitute.
So let's go ahead and hand out some fate. So Alfons,
Alright.
let's look at your stuff.
I'm just as good as Dylan, and I'll prove it by using my skills to outshine him.
You definitely
I think I succeeded.
did. You?
Yeah.
How did you outshine him? By failing to interrogate all of the cultists?
No. At the beginning when he tried to do his suasion roll or whatever, and I just butted in front of him, and I was just like, yeah, jazz hands.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm willing to give that to you as long as you change the belief.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fine then.
My harem is my new belief. I want to end the papacy, so I'll find some way to gain advantage using the heretics. I attempted
Yeah,
to
you
do that.
can get fate for it.
I'm going to reevaluate myself, and I'll start by doing something good. I did the thing with Theo.
Right, persona then.
Oh. Okay.
Not fate,
I
but
thought Wait, you don't get.
you
I
don't
thought you got
you
a
don't
fate
get
and a persona.
nope.
Oh.
If you get
Here,
persona,
need
you
any
don't
more
get fate.
points.
Shut up! I need all of the fate. Okay, always entertain myself. Didn't do that.
Not really.
Always have alcohol.
You've
didn't do
never
that.
had alcohol in this entire thing. You might want to rewrite that instinct.
I can just rewrite instincts whenever.
Same with beliefs.
Oh. Okay.
It's just trait.
Always
It's
with
just
the
traits.
last
That
word.
can't.
I did that with Connor, but he
It didn't really
didn't
get
do
you into
anything
trouble.
about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Rabble rouser, no. Drunk, no. Market privilege, no. None of that.
Yeah, not really.
Wow, I only got 1 fate. I feel like you guys now. Jeez.
But you got 2 personas, so.
I made up for the 2 I used.
Cantarius, what do you got there?
Probably not too much. Let's see. I mean, I was literally unconscious for almost the entire game. I definitely got stuff for the first one. I was spared for a reason. I'll administer my own justice
Yep.
even to myself.
Take persona for that.
Persona, cool.
Yep.
All right, so the staff is the key
But
to figuring out.
you
what
should
happened to my
also
son.
you should also rewrite that though, because you have administered justice to yourself at this point.
Oh, okay.
So I would rewrite that. You can say I was spared for a reason. I will administer my own justice, but I would rewrite like what the specifics of that is going to mean for like the next thing that's going
Okay.
to happen. So
All right, so then the staff is the key to figuring out what happened to my son. If I break it, maybe the boundage of my son's soul can be broken as well. Can I get fate for that just because the entire story is now around my staff? Because you made it emit smoke for throwing it into
do
a
you
fire
want to
destroying
rewrite
it.
the belief?
No.
Well, do you want to rewrite the belief to be the staff is the key to figuring out what happened to my son? I will find a way to
Find
get
it.
it back.
Okay.
Because you don't have it anymore, so you can't break it. So, but you can take fate for that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. I'll always do what's right no matter what anyone thinks. I'll make sure that there's no needless death.
You tried, so take fate. With the doctor stuff.
That's true. If there's a confrontation, I'll make sure the leader decides what to do.
Did it really get you into trouble?
There wasn't a leader for anything I was involved in, so
Mhm.
I'm always inventing something and never harm a child.
Yeah, no, that got you into trouble. So
All right, so 2 fate, 1 persona.
cool. Antonius, are you with us?
He's still there. Oh, he's not headphones on though. Who knows? Josh.
Mm, 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 mm.
He's having a conversation with someone. So,
Okay. Oh,
does anyone want to rewrite beliefs or instincts or anything like that while we're still?
I need to think of two new beliefs.
Oh, right, because yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you can say I want to reevaluate myself, and I will, and then my next step is to do blank.
Oh, so I can still have.
You can still have the first part. Yep.
Okay. Okay, I want to reevaluate myself, and next I'll defeat the heretics.
Okay.
I need.
Well, this is the thing. You've already defeated the heretics.
Okay. Stop the ceremony then.
Yeah. Stop. Next, I'll stop.
I mean,
the
we
ceremony.
didn't defeat all. I meant like all of them.
Okay,
But okay.
that's fine. You can do either one.
Defeat the heretics / stop the ceremony. So then I'll get 2 personas.
No. How about I want to reevaluate myself, and next I'll finish defeating the heretics. But yeah, either way it works.
Okay. I need one more.
Yeah, remember you can make a belief about learning a skill really easily. You can make a belief about becoming a follower of Narani.
Okay. I want to use the gods, and I'll start by getting to know Narani.
Again, do something that you can accomplish, though.
Yeah, getting to know Narani.
How is that going to be accomplished, though? Like, what are the stakes? Like, what is the? That's not the word I'm looking for. What are the conditions where that will be completed?
Okay, gaining Narani's trust. Is that?
Yeah. Yep. That's much
Okay.
better.
I want to use the gods, and I'll start by gaining Narani's trust. How do you spell Narani?
Nerai or Nerani.
Narani. Instinct. I'm just gonna put the god of harems. God of harems.
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm gonna become the god of harems. Duh.
But that's not. You said belief or instinct?
Instinct.
Hey, sorry.
That's right.
I've just been working out. I have some car troubles, and my dad's going to bed, and I needed to touch base with him
Alright,
on that.
that's
I'll
fine.
be back in just a second.
You got it.
You're good.
Caleb, what's a good instinct surrounding my god of harems plan?
I don't think there really is one at this point, because an instinct has to be like a reaction, something that's like ingrained
Yeah.
in you.
Oh, okay.
So what has been something that has been Alphonse's like knee-jerk reaction to something?
Always outshine Dellen.
Always try to outshine Dellen. That's a good instinct.
There we go. Then that won't have to be a belief.
Yep.
Thanks for correcting the yo.
No problemo.
I literally noticed that the second you changed it. So do I have to have faith to contact Narani?
Yep.
Or just to...
Just to make miracles happen and stuff, yes.
Okay, but I can still contact
You
her
can just
and be
pray to
like-
her, yeah.
I can just have conversations with her.
Doesn't mean she'll have a conversation back, but...
But she's madly in love with me, so...
yeah, right.
Okay, she's only slightly in love with me. So while Josh is doing this, do you want to have a Narani dialogue, Caleb?
Sure, yeah, let's do that.
So I'm just like, hey, Narani, you want to... Oh, never mind, he's back. Oh,
Or not, I don't know.
okay, I guess not. So, okay, back. Okay, let's do it.
All right.
So I'm like, hey, you wanna talk?
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know. I think you're kind of awesome, and I want to get to know you better. Oh no, Josh is back.
I am. Is the stream done yet?
We're gonna finish up with fate and stuff for you, and then we'll be good.
Okay, good. Sorry about that.
That's right.
I have
No, you're good.
my car
Mm-hmm.
has been having issues with oil pressure, which is never a good thing to have issues with. Because if you get low enough oil pressure, oil doesn't get up to the camshaft and the stuff at the top of the engine, and that just kills an engine very quickly. You end up with bent lifters and all sorts of nasty. And we thought we possibly had it fixed as of yesterday or the day before, and Dad took it out for an extended test today, and it brought the oil pressure was idling at 7 psi when it ought to idle at 36.
Huh.
So not fixed yet, and it sounds like it's gonna be a bit of a mess to get it all the way fixed. But Dad's also leaving for Germany tomorrow, so we had to touch base.
Yeah, no,
now,
definitely.
or
Oh wow.
that wouldn't have been
Uh-huh.
worked out till the end of the week when it wouldn't have been possible to work on it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I left right before Connor made the scavenging roll, and I see he spent a fate point to open into 6 to get the 4 required for the scavenge.
Yep. So everybody got 1 dice. Of
One
cash.
resource.
Yep. Well,
or
it's
cash. Sorry.
yeah, it's
cash.
die.
Did you change the page I was on?
No, I didn't.
You did.
Oh,
I did.
I changed the page where I was on before. I changed the page from before, but yeah,
Okay.
I didn't do it right now. But
Okay. All right. So, so we're just down to me then. Beliefs and instincts and traits for fate points and stuff.
Yep.
Okay. So beliefs. I want to get my life back, so I will do something to further the mission. In this case, I'd like to put in there learn more about the mayor.
sure, and then
that
you can
work?
get persona for it. Yep.
Oh, cool.
But then you're gonna have to rewrite it after that, so don't even bother writing that in right now. But you can put in another step.
So. So maybe then I would say that my next goal then is going to be to catch the remaining heretics.
Mhm.
I blame Cantarius for Maddie's death and want him to be punished. Therefore, I will find an excuse to get him into trouble. I didn't really this time.
No. I mean, there wasn't much
Kind of-
opportunity. He just.
There wasn't much of an opportunity to have a big dramatic confrontation about it either.
That's true.
I was
Yeah.
a little disappointed. I don't want to be a horrible person,
Yeah.
therefore I will rein in the bloodthirsty impulses of the other members of the party.
People weren't pretty bloodthirsty this time, so.
Yeah. If they had asked for some kind of rack out of the blacksmith shop, I may have had something to say about that, but then I don't know. Instincts, if I see something broken, I must fix it. Don't know that I necessarily did that this time.
No, not really.
Oops. So I'll uncheck that from last time. I always believe I'm right. And I always have a knife on me. Don't know if either one of those got me into trouble this time. So I was never corrected or anything. Don't necessarily see anything on here that would have gotten me into trouble other than
Not really.
unlucky. I mean,
How are you on?
'Cause
Oh, for the
Maddie-
nuns.
died previously and the
Or-
nuns ran me over.
Oh, I actually already gave you a fate for that for the nuns.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah, I did. That's
Okay.
did
But
that
I
purpose, yeah.
don't get a persona point because I didn't end up saving Maddie. Correct?
What was the
'Cause
belief
that was-
for that?
The belief was I feel personally responsible for Maddie's illness and I will work to see her get cured.
I'll give you a persona for that simply because the belief was resolved, and I think that's
Okay.
mainly what it is. It was impossible. It's impossible to work on that any further, and you tried. It was out of your hands. So yeah, I'll give you persona for that. So
Cool.
see,
Okay.
people are actually earning persona now. It's great. It's fun.
It's a matter of figuring out how to write your beliefs then. So this time I didn't get anything that was particularly unlucky. Since August died, he's no longer in my circles.
Yeah, he's no longer in your circles. He's in the
That's
great
nice.
circle in the sky.
You mean the incomplete circle?
The great incomplete circle in the sky. Yeah.
Because it's waiting for all of us to come join it.
And then
And one day
we will
be
complete it. Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, cool. Well, that's episode 7. That was fun. I really just loved that that 3 Inquisitors go to the mayor's house and we all ransack it and stuff. I liked that little vignette there, so that was fun.
We're just gonna go and. I'm a little confused about the Falcon, but that'll probably play in later, won't it?
Oh yeah, it definitely will.
Everything.
That's right. I knew what I was doing. It's not just a random Falcon.
No, that's the kind of thing that makes people hate GMs. Is if the Falcon just turns out to be random, or the perception checks every 30 feet across a giant field are just
Completely
random perception
unnecessary.
checks,
Yep.
and completely unnecessary, just to keep the players on their toes. I had a
Yeah, I don't like those things either.
guy from one of my other campaigns complain about one of his previous GMs did that to him. They were escorting some people across the field, and literally every 30 feet, they'd make another perception, and every 30 feet, they'd see nothing, they'd hear nothing. The tension got pretty bad after the first couple, and then they just got sick of it. 'Cause I suppose I can see, like with the Pathfinder system, doing a couple of perception checks
yeah, a couple of them.
prior to springing something on somebody would
Definitely.
be good. Build the excitement and whatnot. But for no reason at all,
Yeah.
doesn't build excitement. It builds frustration.
It
Because
does
excitement
indeed.
turns to frustration if you don't
Yep.
do anything about it.
That's what's cool about Burning Wheel too, is like the GM's not gonna just give you random checks because you actually get tests for those. You don't want to do that. I don't want you to make a perception check a million times.
Because then you'll eventually end up with
Exactly.
you'll end up being the god of perception.
Or the god of harems.
Yeah.
All right, so cool. That was fun. I will see most of you next week. I will not see you, Antonius. It's so sad.
Sorry.
That's
Okay.
all right.
We should probably maybe think a moment or two about what I might do next week.
Yeah. That's a good
Because
point.
they're probably going to go after the rest of the heretics then, aren't they?
That's probably like the final step.
Next week is the climax, pretty much.
Wait, really?
Oh, I
Yeah.
really wish I could be there. Could you guys find a side quest or another vignette to do so I could come and read
See,
Let's fight more birds.
The problem is, it's we've let this scenario run on maybe a bit longer than it should have, and at this point
Part of it's
we should
because
wrap it
people
up.
have been popping in and out.
Yeah,
Is it possible to push it off a week?
we
Then-
could.
Really
Yeah, I mean,
would
we
hate
could
to
just take a
miss
break next
That's
week.
true. We could do a one shot next week if you really would like to.
Yeah.
That
because
is an
then-
option.
Because there's absolutely no way I could make it work
Sure.
on
Okay.
Monday.
Yeah, we could plan for that. There are games we could do. Okay, let's go ahead and plan for that. Let's do a one shot next week. That'll be fun.
Thank you.
What
Yeah.
one shot you want to do?
I don't know. There's a lot of cool ones.
We could start the space one.
No.
Absolutely not.
Space
I'm
one?
so excited.
We're in the preliminary stages of planning the next campaign after we kind of take a hiatus from Bernie Wheel, and it's gonna be oh my goodness, it's gonna be elves in space.
Ooh.
So it's kind of the plan.
Can I volunteer?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yay!
I mean, everyone from Bernie Wheel is invited. So
I mean, if you look around my room, you catch hints. But I've got a TARDIS sitting over there.
Mhm.
I have a warp nacelle, one of the big tubey things on the back of a Star Trek spaceship. I have one of those made entirely out of Lego sitting on my desk.
Mhm.
I have a replica of the Starship Enterprise. like,
Which is
micro
which is
replica.
one of the reasons that I'm doing space opera and not hard science fiction, because space opera is a lot
opera's
easier
so
to just
much fun.
well, space
It's
opera
so much more
space
fun.
opera is a lot easier to make up things that aren't true about space. So
Oh yes, oh yes. My tech after watching Doctor Who and Star Trek, my techno babble is on point.
If Trevor's there, I don't know if you'll be able to fool him though.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
But okay,
Battle of wits.
let's go ahead and end the stream now, and if we do
He
want
says
to
it's
keep
more
talking about
fun
this, we'll do
if
that.
it's-
So
Doesn't make sense.
all right, so next week, if you're planning on watching, we're gonna do a one shot. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. We'll figure out what it is, and then I'll tweet about it. So
You want to do Soul Thief?
I don't know. Do you want to do Soul Thief?
I mean, I'd be cool with that.
You
We
wa-
just made up a ton of crap about it.
Do you want to do a one shot Bernie Wheel game in the Soul Thief universe?
Yeah, we could totally do that.
I'm down with it.
We obviously have to make the characters beforehand. So
We would,
totally
yeah.
work with that.
Soul Thief, is that the
That's his book.
book you're
Yeah.
looking at, Connor?
Yes, it is.
I went to listen to your podcast today, and
Mhm.
I came up with an older one, the serial killer
Yeah.
movie review.
Yeah.
The I am not a serial killer
Yeah.
movie review. So I don't know what happened with my podcast app, if it didn't grab all of them or not, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to get to that one
hmm
tomorrow.
Yeah,
actually.
we did the one with like the cosmology and world building stuff like that. We probably got a lot of the science wrong, which we kind of realized after the fact. You should tell me what we got wrong and stuff like that, because I
I'll go
don't
snuffling through there and see what
Yeah,
raises
yeah.
flags, but
exactly.
I'm a better judge of techno babble than I am of
Mhm.
actual hard science.
hmm
So I can raise flags for you when techno
Mhm.
babble doesn't line up.
Yeah. And that's a lot of what it is too. But then just today we recorded an episode about the culture and magic of a region that's like kind of the focus of the book. So kind of zoomed in a bit. So that was
So
really
when
fun.
does that drop?
It's already dropped. It dropped like right before we started.
So I've
the
got two
session,
things to
so-
listen
yes,
to in
you
the
do.
car tomorrow.
Yep.
Sweet.
You're gonna listen to us discuss and argue about world building.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, we
so
argued just as much as we made up stuff.
Yep. Let's go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you, all three of you, and the other people who are here for playing. This was fun. Can't wait for next week. Can't wait for the week after. It's going to be a great time. All right.
Yeah.
Adios.